Step by step, the clock is ticking, but there's no time for weakness. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Cairo. Tonight, we will fly above the sky to pretend you're so.
It's a long shot, that's a breath.
Tonight, we will fly above the sky. We are heroes
Easy good shape.
The man nurtured by Manchester. It's Messi.
Welcome back to some more of... what's the name of the channel now? Martial Fit? Well, I haven't uploaded for a while because I thought let the channel die a bit and then restart it in a brand new way. And I was actually going to start it with a few different types of video, you know, me getting back in shape. But then I thought, I'm just focusing on doing that myself. I have lost some weight though. I am getting back in shape. For over a month now, I have been on a proper schedule and everything's been so much better. So I will be recovering and showing you gym work when I start going there. But I want to make more improvements. You know what? I'm going to start doing sports again and show you the process of me going from a complete beginner in something like volleyball to who knows where. But anyway, and I'm also going to do something called Smith sides, a bit like Sander sides. But in today's video, we're going to be talking about England, the football club, in the Euros. Now, they're playing later today because it is a... what's the day today? Sunday. It's a Sunday. I knew that. It was a Sunday the 16th. But they're playing later today and they're playing against Serbia. Right now, Netherlands are playing, but I've come up to watch, to record this. And essentially, I'm going to talk about what they should use to win versus what Gareth Southgate's probably going to. And you know what? I'll start with that one. Now, Gareth Southgate is probably going to pick Pickford in goal, Walker, Stones, Gahey, and Trippier. That's the backline he's been using for, recently, and I think that's the one he's going to go with. It's the one he's going to be most comfortable with. Then in midfield, it's Rice. Then it's either going to be Mainu, Trent, or Gallagher. Next to him, with further forward being Jude Bellingham, Saka, Foden, and Harry Kane. Now, that is the lineup he's probably going to use. Now, I think he's probably going to use Trent or Gallagher over starting Mainu. Mainu will probably come in, get a few good games, and start. I don't think it's going to be straight away. It's going to be Trent or Gallagher, and it depends what he wants for. If you want someone who's going to be good at high pressing and tempo, you would go with Gallagher. But if you want someone with a bit more pizzazz... oh, that was a bit of a voice break. A bit more passing range and creative option, he would go with Trent. Now, the weakness with this formation and these players is Trippier left back, the midfield being overexposed depending on who he goes for, and then Foden on the left. Because Foden doesn't work the best on the left. He works best as a central attacking midfielder or a right winger. Where unfortunately for him, Saka is, and Bellingham, who's the best in his position in the world at the moment. So he can't get in. And the reason Trippier is a weakness there is because he's at his best attacking and whipping in crosses. But he can't do that from left back. So what would I do to fix this? Well, in goal, Pickford, you have to be. Now, I haven't been the biggest fan of Pickford. I think some people massively overrate him. I still think he's a solid goalkeeper. But for example, I think we should have used Ramsdale last year when he was on really good form for Arsenal. Younger, and he's better at everything Pickford did. Who's a better shot stopper? Ramsdale. Who's better on the ball? Ramsdale. The only thing Pickford's better in is experience, and you can't get experience without giving them experience. This year, though, Ramsdale hasn't played. And Dean Henderson, I think, didn't play the full season, but has been really good since the second half. And those are your only two options. So that's obviously going to be Pickford. So right back is Walker. Now, I think he's overrated as a whole. I think he's one of the best right backs. But, for example, I prefer Gary Neville over him prime. Which is weird because I love physical players. Fast, strong, athletic. which Walker is. Having said that, he's still a very good right back and one of the best in English history, so of course he's going right back. And then the rest of the defence, the central defence is the same at least, with Stones and Gahey, but left back I'm going Joe Gomez. Yep, I am going Joe Gomez. Now my reasoning is Walker and Gomez will tuck in to make a back three, while Stones, like he does for City, will push up into the middle of the park. He will become a central defensive midfielder next to Declan Rice. And then you will have Foden and Bellingham ahead of him, being two advanced number 8s / number 10s, both being in their best position. On the right, you'd have Bukayo Saka. On the left, you would have Anthony Gordon. They would keep the width. Gordon will run in behind. Saka can run in behind, but will also accept feet, beat a player, staying wide, cut in then to either shoot or create an opportunity. And I think this gets the best out of everyone. Stones and Walker are doing and Foden are doing what they do at City. Gomez, Walker and Gahey are somewhat athletic defenders, being able to provide some physical speed in behind. So where our previous defenders like Maguire would get absolutely done in, which is why it's a good thing Maguire's not here. Everyone who's saying, "Oh, England are missing Maguire," they're not. He's not a good player. Well, at least not for Man United or England. He's only good with his head, and even then, he can't jump that high. He's not good at aiming the header. I'm telling you, watch it. He's just got a fat head that the ball happens to hit him sometimes and happens to go in sometimes. But when you look at him, he's never aiming, or when he aims, it goes in a different direction when it goes in, not the way he was aiming. That's just a fact. Anyone who says otherwise is either watching a completely different person or doesn't know football. That's just how it is. But enough about that. That will provide that. And then Rice and Stones at that DM will be like a bit like Rodri and Stones for Man City. It'll be defensively secure, where the other day Rice kept going too far forward and not running back, leaving Mainu exposed, or vice versa. This will cover that, while still having lots of bodies forward, with Bellingham and Foden as number 10s, being able to be creative. Of course, when in defence, you're probably more willing to have, not Declan Rice, Jude Bellingham drop deep to help. But when attacking, he's up there creating spaces. And as Kane likes to drop deep, Kane can either be a target man, get the ball, and then either pass it back off quickly to Foden or Bellingham, or flick it round to the wingers, or he can come deep, and if he comes deep, Bellingham will run in behind like he's been doing at Real Madrid in the absence of a striker. Now, Bellingham will probably be a completely different player next season, considering Mbappe's there. Either they're going to play dropping Rodrigo and having Mbappe on the right, and it'll be Mbappe, Vinicius and Bellingham in that role, or they're going to change formation and have a three-man midfield, which is probably going to be Tchouaméni, Bellingham and Valverde, with Bellingham being the more advanced role, but Camavinga kind of filling in quite often. And then Rodrigo on the right, Vinicius on the left, and Mbappe up front. That's probably what's going to happen. It's going to be one of those. But Bellingham is one of the most versatile and best players out there, so he needs to be in the team. And being able to come deep and progress the ball forward, or run in behind Kane, who drops deep, this would be the team that wins them the game against Serbia. Now, this can also work when Luke Shaw comes back. He can either come in Joe Gomez's spot, because he's been left-sided centre-back for Man United and has been very good at that role. In fact, some of his best performances have been in that role. But you can also do it where Stone stays and Luke Shaw pushes up into the attack, have Foden on the left wing, and he then comes in centrally, and then you'd have Mainu, Gallagher or Trent. And I'd actually go for Mainu or possibly Trent next to Rice deeper, so they fill that role. So it'd still be a 3-2-4-1 formation, but just one would have Foden start out wide, come in as Luke Shaw bombs forward, being able to cross in the ball, while the other formation would have Gordon out wide and Foden starting off centrally. Either one, I think these formations are what will win England, and I think it's what suits them. Some of the players are already used to it. Others, I think it's not going to be that big of a difference or a bad thing. And that's the formation they have to go with if they want to win. And I think it works against any team. The only teams you might be a bit more susceptible to would be the likes of France. Later, we'll come to that when we get to. But for Serbia, I'm telling you now, the formation I just told you is going to win the game. But we're not going to go it. And I think because of that, we're going to be susceptible, because Trippier is going to be a weak point, because it's better to have a left footer on the left, or someone who can play with both feet. Joe Gomez is used to playing there. Trippier is used to playing on the right. He sometimes played left for us, but Gomez has played right back, centre back, and left back for Liverpool. So he has to. So I think he's the better choice, and I think he's more athletic. And Serbia are a very athletic team. Not so much speed, but strength and power. Now, having some quick, mobile, strong defenders, I think is vital against so many teams. This might be my bias coming through, because, when I play FIFA or things like that, it's the play style I have. Quick, strong centre-backs, because I'm not the best at defending, and their recovery pace and physicality helps a lot. And then, fast, pacey, attacking forwards. But I always like one slow midfielder, like your Toni Kroos, your De Bruyne, someone who could ping a pass. Which is why Trent might get in. See, I think Trent and Mainu should be kind of in rotation. But I think if you're up in a tough game, I'd actually argue you could put Adam Wharton in to go alongside Rice to be more defensive. And that would be that might be one of the ones where when you keep Stones deeper and have Shawbomb on, and if you're up against a team where you're going to have lots of attackers like France, maybe Adam Wharton and Rice together can be more defensively secure. But having said that, ironically, I think the former defender, Trent, is one of the weaker options there. Gallagher and Trent, they're not the best defensively. Now, Gallagher is more of a forward presser. High up the pitch, pressing it, winning it in a dangerous area, then doing it in his own defensive half. Trent, who used to be a right back, he's not the fastest, nor is he the best at defending. I don't think he's bad at it. I think this is the thing. I think he's average for a Premier League player. Not Liverpool or a top end, but just in general in the Premier League, he would probably be around that middle mark with his defending ability. Maybe lower half, But his on-the-ball ability is amazing, right? And I think if you want to create more opportunities, you put Trent in to do these amazing passes. But I think that tends to work best with people running in behind, which Gordon is the only one that can do. I'm not too sure about Bowen. Watkins could do that, but you're not going to play him out wide, nor are you going to play him instead of Kane, which I think could be a solution sometimes. But we're never going to start a player without Kane unless Kane's injured. And Ivan Toney, I think, could do it a little bit. But yet again, same issue with Kane, as with Watkins. So Trent needs. This is why if you took a Rashford, I'm not saying you should have taken Rashford. I think it was the right decision not to. But maybe having another player who can run in behind will unlock the best out of Trent. But then if you play Mainu, he'll help progress the ball out better. I think Mainu excels at. He can defend very well. I think people underrate it. I don't think he's as good as Adam Wharton, but I think he's very good at it. But he excels with ball control, dribbling, and progressing the ball up, be that passing or dribbling, and he can contribute to both, which is why I think he's actually the best player to start. But in a game against Serbia, I'm not sure if you want more creative or not. I think this is the thing, is this is where you'll have to make the decision. Because I actually think Gallagher could do a job, and I think he's going to be a decent part of our run in the Euros. But I think he's better higher up in a number 10 role, attacking from the front. But then if you do that, you're not going to have Bellingham or Foden, which I think we all agree you kind of have to start. But anyway, that's my opinion. Let Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I'll be keeping you up to date throughout the Euros of what we should do, who our opposition are, things like that. So if you enjoy, please leave a like and subscribe. Join me for some more football content in the future. Join me on my journey to get fit, which, as you can see, I am losing weight compared to other videos, which I might put on the screen now. I might not. And I will do the equivalent of Sanders sides called Smith sides with different aspects of my personality, including my fitness side, which had been dead for a while due to being ill, but it's on the way back. My creative side, which is in charge of this, my other channel, which I'm not going to mention here, my stories that I'm writing, all of that side's in charge of. Then I've also got my fantasy side, I got my, which is different, that's my creative side, but over here, that's like my Disney love. There, you've also got my logical side, or which the equivalent of logic side, which has actually an interesting video coming up in October. I plan to do it, so I have to write the script and all that. That's the one who did the mask. That's like, what was it, Dr. Proton or something like that? No, or was it Dr. Neuro? Well, I can't remember. I'll have to double check that. And anxiety, and you've got the equivalent of the dark sides, which I also need to go through, which is probably going to be anger and all this deceit, all similar to Thomas Sanders. So if you guys don't know what Sanders sides are, or Smith sides, but Sanders sides is the original, please go check out Thomas Sanders. Just type in Thomas Sanders, Sanders sides, and watch all of them. They are great, they're amazing. Obviously, I'm not going to copy what he's done. I'll do my own version, but there will be some topics I also want to cover, but it'll be about me, so there will be differences there. So don't worry about that. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I've been your host, TC Smith. Subscribe, follow for more.